Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and last night I watched those playoff NCAA football games, and let me tell you what, I feel sorry for anybody that has to play LSU. Those guys look pretty darn tough. Now, Clemson also looks tough. That should be one great game. Now, playing in New Orleans, that's going to be pretty tough on Clemson, but I'm sure that the LSU fans will be packing that stadium out, but it should be a good one. And anytime that people try to count Clemson out, they seem to really do their thing. I wanted to start this video off with Michelle Vandenberg, who sent me this. This is about Warren Buffett, and I wanted to show you something that many of you may not know here. This is a tweet from CNBC. It says Warren Buffett has $128 billion in cash, and analysts can't figure out why he isn't spending it. Well, let me tell you why he isn't spending it. Because Warren Buffett knows he's made an entire career out of buying things on the cheap. And now he has since the financial crisis, he has graduated, and many of you may not remember this, but I do. I'm going to show it to you. He has now graduated to not just buying things on the cheap, but buying deals and being consulted behind the scenes by the U.S. government so that he more or less has insider information. That's the truth. And I'm going to show it to you right here. If you look at this right here, this was from 2008. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go and you can look at any of the movies that covered what went on during the financial crisis. And remember, the financial crisis was really the first time in my lifetime that I remember where the governments of the world, not just the U.S., but the governments of the world suspended the rule of law and just said, oh, okay, well, now we're going to declare an emergency. And under that emergency, we can pretty much do whatever we want because we're doing it to save you all. Okay, that was the gist of it. Well, during that time, and I can't remember the name of the documentary, but it was one of the ones where it showed what went on behind the scenes. During that time, the government went to Warren Buffett and asked him to invest in Goldman Sachs, and he was given a, quote, guarantee behind the scenes. So in other words, he was going to invest, he was going to buy Goldman Sachs preferred stock, and in return, he was more or less being given a guarantee. And meanwhile, you have people like Martha Stewart who go to jail for a conversation with their stockbroker about a stock that they buy or sell. But in the financial crisis, Warren Buffett literally was able to get on the phone with Hank Paulson, I believe it was, who was the Treasury Secretary at the time, have a discussion about how, hey, Warren, we need you to bail out Goldman Sachs, but if you do so, we've got your back, more or less. And he ended up making earning Berkshire Hathaway $3.7 billion. Now, you and I could not have that conversation with people that run the government, but Warren Buffett was able to do it, and they don't even call it insider trading. So if you're wondering why he's sitting on the sidelines with all this cash, it's because he knows that they've been pumping this stock market up for the last 10 or 15 or 10 years or so. And he knows that he'll have the same type of opportunities when all of this comes crashing down that he had back then. And so if you were Warren Buffett, you would probably sit on the sideline with cash too. So next, XRP Wizard sent me this. And this is a Forbes article. Secretary General says United Nations must embrace blockchain. And good thing we have XRP Crypto Wolf, because he always summarizes these articles so that I don't have to go delve down into them and get into too much detail. It says the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the UN must embrace and use blockchain technology. Guterres said, we need to embrace technology like blockchain that can help accelerate the achievement of sustainable development goals for the UN. And then we got this from XRP Crypto Wolf, who, as usual, is on his game. The Union of European Football Associations is partnering with Ethereum mobile wallet provider Alpha Wallet and such to digitally tokenize 20,000 VIP tickets through the Ethereum blockchain for the 2020 UEFA Euro football tournament. So Europe is kind of really jumping on this adoption bandwagon, really ahead of the United States and all. But before it's over, you're going to see all kinds of sponsorships going on in the NFL here in the United States and Major League Baseball. You name it, you're going to see it. Okay, this is for an interesting tweet. I do not know what this document I'm looking at is, but it's interesting nonetheless. It says, interesting, XRP mentioned as a stable coin, one of the solutions for cross-border payments. Stable coins for cross-border payment. Stable coin refers to a class of digital currencies. Two digital currencies that fall into this category are RippleNet's native digital currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar Networks' native Stellar Lumen XLM. Ripple's focused on anyway, this is the second time, and I think this might be coming out of some things in Canada, some documentation from Canada. Because the first time I saw this, it was in Canada where they were referring to XRP as a stable coin. And here it says private company issued closed system digital currency, XRP, XLM. But you can see, and I don't know why they're calling it a stable coin. There has to be a specific reason, because it's not a stable coin as of yet. Brian Melancholy XRP at MikeHoncho_11 sent me this. This was a tweet from Sir Gordon Gecko. I'm not sure where this is, but it's an interesting slide. Endgame. The demise of the U.S. dollar is benchmark. Global reserve. U.S. success in financial warfare led to backlash and concerted effort to dilute U.S. power. Russia and China building alternative payment systems. IMF promoting a new, quote, world money called the Special Drawing Right, SDR, permissioned hyperledger fabric v1.0 released July 2017 Linux Foundation. A new gold-backed currency or gold-backed SDR is possible. BRICS plus V have IMF veto power today. No world power has survived without a dominant currency. So that's an interesting slide right there. I feel like using this as a thumbnail and putting XRP over here in the black. That might just get done. And then we got Mike Preston at Mike Preston CW12 sent me this. And this is from Leonidas. XRP now supported on more than 3,000 ATMs worldwide. And this is his article from his website, which he's got a really good website, xrparcade.com. And it's right here. General Bytes is a Bitcoin blockchain and cryptocurrency ATM manufacturer based in Prague, Czech Republic, and Bradenton, Florida, USA. It brings Android, Bitcoin, and blockchain-based technologies to new and unexpected places. Apparently, they are now going to have XRP. General Bytes has now added support for XRP on all ATMs sold to date. That's more than 3,000 ATMs worldwide. What does that look like when people start coming into this market? And then there's this. HODL style State Bank of India and IBM co-developed RippleNet enabled banking platform YONO. You need only one. And I'm not going to go any further into that than that. It kind of speaks for itself. Then we've got this from Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29. There's two awesome videos that Stephen Bull from the DApp put out. Okay, give him a follow at DIEPSANH. Ripple is a company that is compliant enough not to get shut down right out of the box. Greg Kidd, former chief risk officer at Ripple. What's interesting that he says here is he names Coinbase and Ripple as the two companies that tried to be compliant from day one in the United States. And for that reason, they were never shut down. I've often asked myself and on this channel, there's a reason why Ripple has never been shut down. There's a reason that the feds never did kick their door in. Like Bob Way said that when they were in their first 10 employees, that they were worried that they would have their door kicked in. Why did they never get their door kicked in? There's a specific reason for that. And then this is also a video from Stephen Bull from the Dip. Pay attention to keywords. Japan, global currency, largest banks. He's got a clip from Chris Larson, and then he's also got another clip at the end from this guy that from the other day, David Javan, CEO of Cipher Trace. But very interesting. I mean, like he says here, pay attention to keywords, Japan, global currency, largest banks, XRP. Are you excited? Now, I'm glad that Stephen Dieppe put this out because, yesterday I told Stephen Dieppe, and this is one thing that you're seeing a lot of on Twitter and just in crypto in general. I've seen it. It's like a phase. You watch people, they start to go negative because they just can't take the market anymore. Then after they go negative, then it turns into trying to attack people and go after people and call them names and say that they're doing this or doing that. So I think that it's entirely appropriate. And the reason I think that I need to do this is because I'm completely unaffected by those things. I've been around. I'm 45 years old. I was raised to not pay any attention to the noise and to be positive because we have all the reasons in the world to be positive. But I do want to give my listeners a couple of quotes today because I think a lot of people have gotten negative and they need to see some big picture quotes about what it's really about. So here we go. I'm going to give you just two or three of the ones that I have always kind of lived my life by and continue to. Earl Nightingale is one of my favorites. He says, men credited with all kinds of ability, talent, brains, know-how, including the ability to see into the future, frequently have nothing more than the courage to keep everlastingly at what they set out to do. They have that one great quality that is worth more than all the rest put together. They simply will not give up. When a man makes up his mind to do something, then it's only a matter of time. Staying the time take bulldog persistence. This seems to be the entrance examination to success, lasting success of any kind. And that is so true, especially you young people out there listening to me. That bulldog persistence, that ability to not just never give up, but to cut out the noise and to not ever listen to what someone else is trying to tell you you're supposed to be, or you stick to your goal. You keep to your roadmap. As long as what you're doing is honest and good and you have good intentions and you have a goal, that's what's important. Because no matter who you are, no matter what you're trying to accomplish, you're always going to have the naysayers. You're always going to have the envy and the jealousy and the people that don't like you because they don't have the guts to do what you're doing. Stay at it. And the next quote I would like you to hear is this from George Bernard Shaw. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want. And if they can't find them, make them. And finally, a Thomas Edison quote. Many of life's failures are people who didn't realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Never forget that quote right there, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family. Never give up. The prize goes to the people who can block out the noise. Don't pay any attention to all of that. You're never going to accomplish anything significant without having people that come at you. It's just part of it. And that's what I was telling Stephen Bull yesterday. I don't even know if he heard. That's what I was telling him. Yeah, he said people were accusing him of hype. Yeah, well, whatever. Okay, let's talk about hype for a minute. In the last week, Ripple has put out videos and insights articles. In the title of the article was 2020, the year of the digital asset. Well, you don't see anybody accusing them of hype, and that's because they don't have the guts to call them. They don't have the guts to call them hype. and the truth of the matter is, it's not hype. They're telling the truth because they're saying the year of the digital assets because it's backed by everything that Ripple sees around them and behind the scenes, and therefore they put out something that anybody who hasn't had the guts to stay positive in this environment might call hype or whatever. But the truth is that some people just don't have the constitution for investing in a risky asset class, and that's where we are. But sometimes you just got to man up. Thank you for listening.